Good morning, you lovely, lovely people. Welcome back to another little podcast of mine. And it's about where I live here in Mindanao. Because when I did the video yesterday, or the day before, I can't remember, I think it was yesterday, about the foreigner being shot. And a lot of people say, why are you in Mindanao when Mindanao is known as the red zone, so they call it. Well, there are parts in Mindanao that is a red zone. I won't try and pretend there isn't, because there is. But Mindanao is a big place. It's a big island. And there are lots and lots of municipals here, barangays, provinces. But where I actually am, in Dipolog, or just outside of Dipolog City, Zamboanga del Norte, is very, very safe indeed. It's very foreigner friendly here. And I know there's a lot of foreigners who have been here, and they say the same thing as what I say. You know, it's a safe place. It's a lovely place to live. It's not crowded with lots of people. It hasn't got the hustle and bustle of the big cities. And to be fair, it doesn't matter where you go, you will find danger in any province of the Philippines, of any place in the UK. There was places in the UK that I would never go to, where there was an insurge of Somalians that came to England, especially to the south of England. And they put them all in this particular place, in these high-rise buildings in the southeast of London. And that was a no-go area for anybody. Even the police wouldn't go in there. So basically, I think it's more dangerous in my own country than it is here. I've never felt threatened, I've never felt in danger, and I've certainly never thought to myself, I'll move out of here because I don't like it. There are more dangerous places in Manila, more dangerous places in Cebu. Bigger places, more people, more crime. Where I am here, in this barangay that I live in, there are 800 residents in this barangay of Lapu-Lapu in the municipality of Pinion. Get it out, Stephen. Early in the morning, isn't it? So there are not many people here, and everyone here is related somewhere down the line. How do you work that out if everyone's related in the same place? And it's a beautiful place to live. And I wouldn't want to live anywhere else in the Philippines. Been to Cebu, nice place, but I wouldn't like to live there. It's congested. So when people say get out of Mindanao, I'm not tempting fate here. I've got to touch a bit of wood. I could be tempting fate. Wait, I'm not superstitious, but touch a bit of wood. I've never had no trouble here, and I don't think I ever will, but we don't know. I felt more unsafe in my own country. God's honest truth. England has become, well, we will be the ethnic minority in England soon. The indigenous people of the UK, the citizens, born citizens, we will eventually be the ethnic minorities. But everyone's coming over. Everyone's coming over. And the Somalians, not that good, in my understanding. And also there was an insurge or a surge of Nigerians that come over as well. I remember that. But the Somalians, they were taking over all of the and the Turkish. They were taking over all the car wash businesses in the supermarkets. I observed that. Oh, my dog's found me, look. Here he is. Good boy, Jack. Good lad. I didn't leave you. How did you find me up here? Because I'm in a different spot. And the crime rate went sky high. Like I said, even the police wouldn't go in to these places. So when people say to me, Philippines is a dangerous place, it's no more dangerous than my country of origin, where I'm a citizen of. Here, the people are much more friendly. People here tend to they they tend to take care of each other. Uh, Here they have this thing as sharing the blessing. That's what they call it. Share the blessing. And what that is when they get a bit of money, they don't keep it for themselves. They don't say, that's mine. They kind of share. You know, they will buy their neighbours something, like rice, or they will invite them round for dinner. And I see that all the time here. So although many households here don't have a lot of money, they kind of share what they have got. And it's like an old tradition here. And also the drinking. Because you know, many Filipinos like to have a good drink. Why not? You know, they have a tough life sometimes with this work that they do, because it's all manual labour here. So why not? You know, why not? They live for the day. Us as foreigners, we tend to think a bit too far forward. I mean, I've stopped thinking too far into the future. You know, I just think of next month. I think of next month, guys, I will be honest. Whereas before, I used to think of 6 months or a year or even further into the future. But I tend not to do that now because it's a waste of time, because you don't know what's going to happen. You know, you can plan for 6 months down the line. Anything can happen. You can have a catastrophe where all those plans that you had for 6 months' time is just gone down the drain because of circumstance changes. So I don't, my little dog. So I don't really think about too much in the future. I'm becoming Filipino, like that guy, you know. I think I'm becoming more Filipino the longer I'm here. And I'm enjoying this transition because I'm tending to worry less. I'm sleeping better. And I'm not worrying about trivial things anymore. Trivial things. Because when you worry about something you can't change, what's the point in worrying about it? You can't change it. You know, worry about the things that you can possibly change. Not 6 months down the line or a year down the line, in the near future. You know, it's like building this house. Now, well, if I was in the UK, this would be an impossibility. This would be an impossibility so great, I would have more chance going to Mars. But here, I'm able to do it. And it's a fantastic feeling to be able to build your house to your particular design, your style, for very little money. So I'm the happiest I've ever been in my whole entire life. And what a place to be in your late 50s, in a place where you want to be, in an environment that you have adapted to, and you're fitting in with the people. You're fitting in with the local people. And they are fitting in with you as well, because when people say you can't change the local people, no, you can't, but you can give them a bit of your life, how you live, and they kind of take it upon themselves as well to take a bit of that in. You know, like my neighbour here, one of my neighbours, good guy he's a professional guy, and I was saying about you know, how in the West we kind of we save for rainy days. And he said to me, well, I save for rainy days as well, but I don't tend to save where I will go short today because I'm saving for tomorrow. He says, what I don't need today will be put by for tomorrow, meaning he won't spend all of his money because he's got it in his hand. Whatever he's got left, he won't think, well, I've got to get rid of that. Many Filipinos think that. They have that attitude where they've got to spend it. So he's now saving a little bit more than he did because of, you know, the little chats that we had a few drinks together and that, and I said, you know, rather than buy, you know, like another beer tonight because we're drunk, why don't we just buy it tomorrow? You know, save their money for tomorrow or the next time I have a drink. Yeah, good idea, Steve. You know, we've had enough. Good idea. So they do kind of, some do, you know, so you are sort of introducing your ways here and some of them take it on board. Brilliant. And for anyone who's thinking of coming to the Philippines, and when they see shootings and how corrupt it can be here, we don't really feel it as foreigners. We don't really feel the corruption. You know, The people who really feel the corruption here is the people like the farmers, because they get very little money for their produce, because or unless they in what's it called? Oh, Farmers Association. Now there is a Farmers Association here in Pinion, and they take care of the farmers. So let's just say they are selling rice at, I'm just saying this as an example, 30 pesos, and they will get 30 pesos all the way through. So there is like a little subsidy here for the farmers. But I know in certain parts of the Philippines, the farmers get a pretty shit deal. And it's bloody hard work here, because not many have got the agricultural machinery to actually make their job easier. So it's all manual labour. We don't know how lucky we've got. I don't know how lucky I've got it being here. Really, I don't. And yes, I'm blessed because I was born in the West. It was a blessing to be born in the West. I've grown up in a Western society where everything is given to you. Or it was, I don't know about now, I haven't been back for 8 years. But everything was given to you. You got no work, you get benefits. So what is the incentive for some of these lazy people to go to work? No incentive. Because some of these people on benefits in the UK are better off than people who work hard. It's an unfair system. Here, no work, no money. There is a little benefit system called Pantawid and IORDA for the really poor people. And they get a small amount of money each month, or I think it's every 3 months. But it doesn't give them the incentive to not go to work. They still have to work, otherwise the little money that they get, it won't stretch. So everyone here works. And do you know what? This is another thing as well. I've got to say this about where I am here. I've got lots of things outside my house. I've got a generator. We've got all my son's toys, his bikes. We leave them outside in the terrace. The generator's round the side in a little house, but it's got no lock on it. It's just got a little, you can see it. Everyone can see it. I leave my tools out. I've always left my tools out. I've never had one thing stolen here. Not anything at all, because everybody knows each other. Everybody here has lived here all of their lives and their ancestors. So the only strangers who come to live in these places is people like me. The other people who live here, they are all related. They don't steal off anybody. Also, and this is another true little story, I was in, there's a shop here called The Welcome. It's like a little mini mart. And I was pulling something out of my pocket, and I dropped 500 pesos, and I think there was 200 pesos wrapped up in the 500 pesos. Do you know something? The woman who was she was coming down, I was going down, so she was behind me, and she said, sir, you've dropped some money. Isn't that honest? Isn't that honest? My wife, she left her cell phone on the counter in Lee Plaza. She bought a ring, like a little ring for my son, and she left her purse thing and a cell phone on the counter, and she left. She didn't realise till she got outside of Lee Plaza. We got on the bike. She said, "Oh, my phone." I said, "Where is it?" And she said, "Oh no." She's like, and then she knew where it was, and she said, "Stephen, there's a lot of people there." She said, "I doubt I'll get that back." So we went straight in. The people on the counter took the cell phone and the wallet of my wife's, the purse, and they were taking pictures of the ID inside to to actually put on Facebook. Someone's lost this. If you've lost this, come in, and we'll. That's how honest it is in this place where I live. I know in different places it's not as safe as this, and it's not as honest as this in the big places like Manila, Cebu, whatever they pronounce it. But here is a brilliant place, people, really. And I would not discourage anyone from coming to Mindanao. Certain places, obviously you don't go to Marawi, you don't go to what's it called, past Liloy Way. There's places you don't go, but it's not different to your own countries. If you used to leave your house in your home country, how long would it take you to drive into a place where you shouldn't be, where people say, don't go there, it's dangerous. You know, there's a lot of people there who are not so good people. Wouldn't take you long. I feel safer here, people, than I've ever felt in my life, in anywhere. So, take no notice of these people who say, yeah, Philippines is a dangerous place. It's a dangerous place if you're in the wrong place, and that's the same as anywhere. It's no more dangerous here than it is anywhere. Certain places, but certain places, take notice of the local people. The local people will, if you go against advice from local people, and they say, don't go here, Steve, don't go there, and I think, well, I think I'll try. And if anything happens to me, that's my own stupidity. That is my own fault because I didn't take advice of the local people who know better than I will ever know about these places. But here, no one's ever said to me, Stephen, don't go, where I am now at this time of night, because it's safe. It's safe. Yes, you get the odd drunken person who's shouting around, making a lot of noise, but he doesn't want to fight you. Well, he doesn't want to fight me anyway, which I'm pleased about, because they all bloody strong people here. They little people, but they wiry and very, very strong because of the work that they do. They always active and they always bloody lifting, heavy things. They're all strong and they just continue going. The workers are here today. I didn't think he'd turn up because of his thumb, but he's here today. And he was here early. Maybe because I paid him his salary yesterday and paid for his for the injection, so maybe he thinks, oh, I'll go early today and do a little bit more work. I don't know. My little dog. We are going to do this, guys. We're gonna plough all this. Well, not plough it all up, but we're going to weed it, and we are going to. My wife wants to grow bananas, a variety called Lacatan. So we've estimated, well, I haven't estimated, but the guy who will be doing it, he said we can put about, because it's right up there. Our land is right. He's right up here, right up here. So this, I don't know how many square meters this is, but our house is on 360 square meters. So where our house is and our land around the house, not this is separate. This house here, we're on 360 square meters here. This is maybe, I don't know, 2,000 square meters this. And the guy said we can get about 2,000 banana plants on this, which would be a hell of an income actually, because their Lacatan is the most expensive banana here. It was about 65 pesos a kilo, and you get a lot of their bananas on one plant. So this will be worked. Not yet, it won't be worked, but it's in the planning. So this will generate income for my wife when I'm long dead and gone, which was the idea. And this land, by the way, this is only partially paid, because we buy this every so often. We pay money every few months off the payment. That's how nice they are here. And it's the same woman who we bought this land off. This is bought and paid for. All this is bought and paid for, this land. But, when she said about this, she said, why don't you buy the land behind you, Steve? She says, because then you could have a little farm. Farm, nah. And I thought it's a bloody damn good idea. Because then my wife and my son have got an income, haven't they? So that's in the pipeline. First get the house finished. And then after this house is finished, people, we're going to go for a little break somewhere for a week. I think my wife needs a break, because she has worked hard. And my son's really difficult sometimes because he's very active. He only doesn't sleep in the daytime, and he's on the go all the time. So I think we deserve a week away, maybe Palawan or somewhere for a week, but not yet. Maybe in maybe the end of June. That's the plan. Oh, look at our lemons! Look, our lemons are really coming on. Look, see, they're really coming on. We've got many here, and we planted these as little seedlings, and they're only 6 inches high. Many. And we've got birds nesting here as well, so I haven't cut these trees yet because we've got nests. And there are chicks in these nests, look. There are chicks. Chicks in there. And we've got chicks in this one here. I won't go too close, but you know, the nests. So I haven't gone, I'm not cutting the trees, I'm not cropping them yet because I don't want, oh look, we've got the papaya as well. Mini papaya. And my wife started to put them in the bags, look, see? Mini papaya. These are dwarf coconut trees. About another 5 years they will produce. But yeah, that's it people, you know. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me podcast again. And have a great day. Subscribe if you want. Hit the notification, share the video, and do whatever you choose. But whatever you choose to do, do it well. Thank you, my friends. Bye bye.